Hi there and welcome back to the channel. I hope I sound a wee bit better than I did the other day, and today I'll be starting the introductory video to the Isle of Man. This is technically the first video for a place outside the UK, since they don't actually form part of the United Kingdom. They are a crown dependency though, so we take care of their external and defence issues. The Isle of Man is an island located in the middle of the Northern Irish Sea, almost equidistant from England to the east, Northern Ireland to the west, and Scotland, which is the closest to the north, while Wales to the south is almost the distance of the Republic of Ireland to the southwest. This means that if you were to draw lines from all these places, you would find the Isle of Man is in the centre of all of them. The island is 32 miles long at its widest point and 14 miles wide. It has an area of around 221 square miles. Beside the Isle of Man itself, the political unit of the Isle of Man includes some nearby islands as well, which includes the seasonally inhabited Calf of Man. You also have Chicken Rock, in which they have a unstaffed lighthouse, St. Patrick's Isle, and St. Michael's Isle. The last two of these are connected to the main island by permanent roads or causeways. Humans have lived on the island since before 6500 BC. Gaelic cultural influence began in the 5th century AD when Irish missionaries, following the teachings of St. Patrick, began settling the island, and the Manx language, which is a branch of the Goidelic languages, emerged. The Manx name for the Isle of Man is Eilean Vannin, which means the Island of Man. The island was cut off from the surrounding islands around 8000 BC. As sea levels rose following the end of the last ice age. Humans colonised it by travelling by sea sometime before 6500 BC. The first occupants were hunter-gatherers and fishermen, and they kept examples of their tools at the Manx Museum. The Neolithic period marks the beginning of farming, and the people began to build megalithic monuments such as the Castellan Ard at the Mochard parish. You also have King Ori's grave in Laxey, Molehill near Creagnish, and the Barahara stones at St. John's. There are also the local Ronaldsway and Barn cultures of people that have been found here as well. During the Bronze Age, the size of burial mounds started to decrease. The people started to put bodies into stone-lined graves with ornamental containers, and the Bronze Age burial mounds survived as long-lasting markers around the countryside. The ancient Romans knew of the island and called it Insula Manavia. During the 4th centuries, when Rome ruled the province of Britannia, the Roman military controlled the Irish Sea, providing safe passage of agricultural goods from the productive farms of Anglesey to Roman settlements at the English-Scottish frontier. Only a few Roman artefacts have been found on Man, suggesting a lack of strategic value during the era of Britannia, and no Roman lighthouses or signal towers have yet been found on the isle. Around the 5th century AD, large-scale migration from Ireland precipitated a process of Gaelicization, evidenced by the Ogham inscriptions, and the Manx language was further developed. It is a Goidelic language, closely related to Irish and Scottish Gaelic. In the 17th century, however, Man came under control of the Anglo-Saxon king, Edwin of Northumbria, who then launched raids from Man into Ireland. How much influence the Northumbrians exerted on Man is unknown, but very few place names on Man are of Old English origin. And then arriving in the 8th century were the Vikings, and they established Twynwald and introduced many land divisions that still exist. In 1266, King Magnus VI of Norway ceded the islands to Alexander III, King of the Scots, in the Treaty of Perth. But Scottish rule over Man did not become firmly established until 1275, when the Manx were defeated in the Battle of Ronaldsway near Castletown. In 1290, however, King Edward I of England sent Walter de Hunterscombe to take possession of Man. It remained in English hands until 1313, when Robert the Bruce took it after sieging Castle Rushen for 5 weeks. In 1314, it was then retaken by the English by John Bacach of Argyll. In 1317, it was then retaken again by the Scots by Thomas Randolph, 1st Earl of Moray and Lord of the Isle of Man. It was then held by the Scottish until 1333. Some years after, control passed back and forth between the two kingdoms until England took it for the final time in 1346. The English Crown delegated its rule of the island to a series of lords and magnates. Tynwald passed laws concerning the government of the island in all respects and had control over its finances, but was subject to the approval of the Lord of Man. The island's parliament, Tynwald, is claimed to have been in continuous existence since 979 or earlier, purportedly making it the oldest continuously governing body in the world, though evidence supports a much later date. Tynwald is a bicameral or tricameral government comprising of the House of Keys, which are directly elected by universal suffrage with voting age of 16, and the Legislative Council, consisting of indirectly elected and ex officio members. These two bodies also meet together in joint session as Tynwald Court. In various laws of the United Kingdom, the United Kingdom is defined to exclude the Isle of Man. Historically, the UK has also taken care of its external and defence affairs and retains paramount power to legislate for the island. During both World Wars, the island was also used for the internment of people originating from enemy countries. However, in 2007, the Isle of Man and the UK signed an agreement that established frameworks for the development of the international identity of the Isle of Man. Also, currently, there is no citizenship for the Isle of Man. As such, it entitles Isle of Man residents to British citizenship, and they can also obtain a full UK British passport or a British Isle of Man passport. For centuries, the island symbol has been the so-called three legs of man, or the Tri Casinvanin, which is a triskelion of tree legs conjoined at the thigh. The Manx triskelion, which dates back with certainty to the late 13th century, is of uncertain origin. It has been suggested that its origin lies in Sicily, an island which has been associated with the triskelion since ancient times. The symbol appears in the island's official flag and official coat of arms, as well as its currency, and the Manx triskelion may be reflected in the island's motto, Quocunque icere stabit, which appears as part of the island's coat of arms. The Latin motto translates, "Whithersoever you throw it, it will stand." In Manx mythology, the island is ruled by the sea god Mannin, who would draw his misty cloak around the island to protect it from invaders. One of the principal folk theories about the origin of the name Man is that it is named after Mannin. In the Manx tradition of folklore, there are many stories of mythical creatures and characters. These include the Buggane, which is a malevolent spirit which, according to legend, blew the roof off St. Trinian's church in a fit of rage. They also include the Fenadiri, the Glashtin, and also the Modidu, a ghostly black dog which wanders the walls and corridors of Peel Castle. The Isle of Man is also said to be home to fairies, known locally as the Little Folk, or themselves. There is a famous fairy bridge, and it is said to be bad luck if one fails to wish the fairies good morning or good afternoon when passing over it. It used to be a tradition to also leave a coin on the bridge to ensure good luck. Other types of fairies include the Arcan Sonny. An old Irish story tells how Loch Ness was formed when Ireland's legendary giant Finn McCool ripped up a portion of the land and tossed it at his Scottish rival. He missed and the chunk of earth landed in the Irish Sea, creating the island like I mentioned in one of my previous videos about the Giant's Causeway. There is another landmark that's been proposed as a possible location of the Arthurian Avalon, which is Peel Castle, or also as the location of the Grail Castle, site of Lancelot's encounter with the sword bridge of King Malagant. One of the most often repeated myths is that people found guilty of witchcraft were rolled down a hill near St. John's in a barrel. However, this is a 19th century legend derived from a Scottish legend, which in turn wasn't Scottish at all and actually comes from a German legend. Separately, a witchcraft museum was opened on the Witches' Hill, Castletown in 1951. There's never actually been a witch's coven on that site, they only created the myth with the opening of the museum. However, there has been a strong tradition of herbalism and the use of charms to prevent and cure illness and disease in the people and animals in the area. And that brings us to the end of the introductory video for the Isle of Man. Thank you for making it to the end of the video. I hope you like it and I hope you leave a comment down below. Please don't forget to share, like and subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye!